I'm Rabbi Jeremy Gerber, and I want to talk about something that might seem counterintuitive. Having serious conversations with people who believe fundamentally different things from you does not weaken your own position. It actually strengthens it. It makes you sharper. It makes you more articulate about what you actually believe and why. I've been part of interfaith dialogue for years, including during my time at Congregation Ohev Shalom in Wallingford, Pennsylvania. And the moments that sharpened my own thinking most were not the ones where everyone agreed with each other. They were the moments where someone from a completely different tradition asked me a question I hadn't considered, or challenged something I'd been taking for granted. Here's a concrete example. A Christian colleague once asked me how Judaism handles the concept of grace. In Christian theology, grace is absolutely central to how salvation works. In Jewish thought, the term doesn't map onto our tradition the same way. I had to sit with that question and think carefully about what Judaism does instead, how mercy and repentance actually function, what the relationship between human effort and divine response looks like in our sources. I had to read texts I hadn't thought about in years. That conversation made me a better rabbi. Not because it changed my mind, but because it forced me to articulate something I had taken for granted, to explain why I believed it. This is what good interfaith dialogue does. It does not ask you to compromise your beliefs. It asks you to explain them, and explaining your own tradition to someone who doesn't share it is one of the best tests of whether you actually understand it. If you can't explain why you believe something to someone from outside the tradition, maybe you don't understand it as well as you thought. The problem with most interfaith settings is that they avoid the interesting stuff. They find 3 things everyone agrees on and talk about those for an hour. I'd rather spend that hour on the things we disagree about, respectfully, carefully, but with complete honesty. That's where the real learning happens. That's where you actually grow. In Wallingford, I found clergy from other traditions who felt exactly the same way. Christian pastors, Muslim imams, Buddhist teachers who wanted to have real conversations, not polite ones. The relationships that lasted were built on mutual honesty, not mutual niceness. We pushed each other, we challenged each other's assumptions, and those relationships made all of us better at what we do.